This is the medical cart for working the lambs and moms. That's the Mama U kit, the lamb kit, tagger bander, iodine, scissors for navel cord. Here's a copy of what our lambing record looks like. Every ewe gets recorded. We practice pasture lambing, and after they have delivered in the pasture, we bring them into pens. These happen to be outdoor pens, and they stay in these pens for about 12 hours. Then we'll kick them out together with a small group we call pre-K. From there they'll go to kindergarten, and then first grade, which is the big green pasture. Here you can see a pen tag with some vital information for us. Once we write on that pen tag, we know that lamb has had a clip and dip on the navel cord. And then from the pen tag, we write the information on the record. So I'm going to catch this ewe in her pen. It might be a little bit difficult to watch on video here. Now, ours is a commercial flock, and they're wild sheep. It's not a hobby farm. Once you get a flock of over 100, it's really not a hobby farm. In order to tip the ewe, you put your hand in her mouth. Thumb goes straight across. There's no teeth there. You're going to take that head to her flank. You're going to pinch the flank, and you're going to go over and sit her up. This is the sitting or tipped position. Now in these ewes, we're checking udder. This ewe has some supernumerary teats. That is genetic, and you can select against it, but we've been selecting for other attributes, and so we haven't been concentrating on those supernumerary teats. One year we will. Then we're checking to make sure she's got normal lokia, normal discharge. We're looking in her eye for eye color, famacha, beautiful pink. Checking to make sure she doesn't have a broken mouth. She's a little bit older ewe there. She's about 5. We do have a dewormer and something that helps with external parasites, particularly ticks, because our sheep are in the mountain range and there are a lot of ticks in Oklahoma. Then we're going to do a little foot trim. Now when you do this foot trim, it's really important to get all the gunk out so you can see what you're doing. So just use the tip of that trimmer to take the gunk out. You're going to come along one side, down the heel, and back up around. It's better if you can kind of do it in one foul swoop instead of doing lots of little bites. Then we're coming to the inside. I can tip that toe just a little bit on that tip. Now, what's important is that the ewe be comfortable. She's just trying to reposition herself. If I fight against her and force her, then we're going to have a real fight on our hands. But we want the ewe to be comfortable. See how you can kind of just work her in your knees? So your hands are completely free. Your hands are not used to hold the sheep. The rest of your body is. I'm even using my arm to hold her. See how that arm is holding her head? But keep your hands free, especially when it comes to shoeing. You need those hands free. Just leveling out that foot. Now when we come to the back feet, it's really important that you keep that bend in that leg. It's really easy to injure a leg. If you're pulling on legs and you're holding them in hyperextension so you don't have to bend over, that's going to damage the sheep. We don't want any damage to the sheep. And actually, if we just come in here and kind of bend down like this, it's much easier on our body. And when we're resting gently, I'm not putting pressure on her. I'm just resting gently on the sheep. It actually brings them down. They like that. They feel like they're one with the shepherd. You see how I'm keeping a bend in that leg? It's much more comfortable for them. Might not seem it for some sheep. Now I'm going to let her up very gently and in such a way that she can get up without hurting herself. Don't want her feet caught up against anything. I also want you to notice my feet. I'm turned in and my feet are under her. I've got real good control with my legs there. I'm going to work that little lamb next, so I'm going to do this in such a way that I let her up and I catch that lamb at about the same time. So here we go then. There we are, Mom.